Hello and welcome to the lecture. Let's understand two important tags in HTML, that is pre and code. Okay, so we create a folder called pre code. Okay, let's write an example to understand what is this purpose of pre and code. So I'm going to call this precode.html. Alright, let's open this up into the brackets, close this up, and we'll use our boilerplate. Copy paste this, paste it here, change the description, pre and the code. Okay, we'll remove this heading. Okay, the two tags that we have, pre and code, looks like this. Pre code. Okay, so let's understand what is the purpose of it. The pre tag basically is used to format the text exactly as it is written. Okay, so let me type that. Is used to format text exactly as it is written. Okay, whatever right here with spaces, with new lines, exactly it is printed in the output. The code is to display the computer code. Okay, could be C, C++, Java, anything that is you're writing in a computer as a code, like Java, C++, PHP, JavaScript, any code. Okay, you use under the code tag. Okay, these are the tags given by HTML and telling you if you're writing a source code, please embed under the code. Okay, so let's write a pre first. Okay, here we understood in HTML previously, in paragraph tag when you add new lines, it's not been displayed. But if you really want to have your own format that you want to display onto the output, okay, like this, is okay, what you are trying to do here is you are using a pre tag to say whatever you're writing here, I want the same output on the browser. Okay, I want browser to consider my space and the new lines and print as it is. Okay, that's what the pre tag does. If you look at the output, you will see exactly the same. Okay, even this space are included. Okay, if you want to remove that space, right, you see it's moving it up here, right? And if you try to add that back, right, any space that you add it here will be shown in the output and is exactly printed as you're writing inside it. That's the purpose of having a pre tag. Okay, what if you take this and apply a p tag here? It's interesting to see that. Okay, you will not see that output because p tag will ignore the white spaces and the new line. Okay, that's why even though it is printed like this, even though in the output you might see the p tag like this, and then you will see the same input, but the p tag doesn't consider the spaces, doesn't consider the new line. Okay, that's the specification of p tag. If you want to have similar output as you wrote in the HTML page, you have to use something called as pre tag. Right, so let's add a new line here. HR is used to add new line, and we're going to close this, have a preview right up here, right? Then now let's write some code. Okay, let's write a PHP code of an add function. I'm going to say return A plus return B. Okay, if you're writing any kind of code that you want to display on the output, you can embed it onto the code. But you see here all the new lines is being ignored. Think for a second, how can you have the same output displayed onto the browser? How can you do it? Think for a second. Well, you can embed this in a pre tag, right? That's the purpose of pre-tag. If you have pre-tag here, then you get the output as you have written it, right? You see, you are able to print as it is. So that's the purpose of having pre-tag. But you want to embed any code, you mention it under the code. All right, so that's the purpose of having pre-tag and the code tag. So these two tags are very important when you deal with blogging, because sometimes you want to display some spaces between the text. You can use it via the pre-tag, but there are some things also available in HTML to add the spaces. Okay, and if you want to add source code, you can always go and use code tag. Okay, so let's open our HTML page. Okay, and then we can view our output. Okay, this is our output with the pre tag and the code tag. Okay, so that's all about pre and code tag, and I'll see you in the next one. Hello and welcome to the lecture on lists. List is basically when you write ordered list like bullet points, or you want to have a numbering points. So if you want to write like a list of items, then you basically call list. We'll look at what tags is available in HTML to write list. Okay, for that we'll create a folder, list folder, and we'll call the file name as lists. Right, let's open this file up. We'll copy our boilerplate code into this. We'll call it as lists. Call it as lists. Okay, so let's understand how many type of list is available in HTML. There are three types available. First is called as definition list. Second is called as ordered list. Ordered list means where you have numbering 1 to 3. And then you have unordered list, where your list is represented with the bullet points. And the tags for definition list is DL. It's open and close with DL. Okay, and inside DL you can have DT and DD. That is the definition title and the definition description. You have definition title and definition description, that is the DD. For ordered list, you write with OL. OL means O stands for ordered, L with list, and you end with OL. And all the list items that you have, you write it under LI. Okay, you can write multiple LI, and each LI will have numbering attached to it. So if you have 1 and 2 LIs, then it will be numbered 1 automatically and second one as second. So you can have n number of LIs. And similarly for unordered list, you have something called as UL. Okay, UL means unordered list. Okay, similarly in UL also you have LI, and each LI can represent with a bullet point. Basically it is unordered, so you will not have numbering there. Instead of numbering, you will have bullet points. Okay, so let's write an example and understand how this looks like. So let's start with our definition list. That's our DL, DT and DD. Okay, definition list, definition title and definition description. And by the definitions of it, what do you think this is used for? Okay, this is used mostly for table of contents and dictionary items. Okay, so let's define that. You start with DL, then you have DT, that's in, can call this is definition title, then this is definition description. Okay, and then you end your DL, and after that you can add a real-time example of how it can be used. Well, you can say learn HTML in few hours, then you can describe about what is it, like HTML stands for hypertext markup language. Okay, so your DL is complete. Let's write a horizontal line, then we'll write our ordered list. So for that I'm going to define one more heading, and I'm say ordered list, and ordered list is OL and LI, and it is used for numbering the items like 1 2 3. An example could be a shopping list, right? So let's write the LI items. So under OL, O stands for ordered, you can have n number of LIs. Okay, and imagine you are writing a shopping list, then you can write milk, bread and eggs, and that will be displayed with numbers. So you'll have number 1 here, number 2 here, number 3 here. Similarly, you can add an HR, and then you can add the unordered list. Okay, so you can add the unordered list here. Okay, and unordered list starts with UL, is used for bullet items. Bullet points, and you can add a paragraph here just to say why. Then you can add some bullet points there. Create own web pages, design websites, and show off the skills. Well, you can also mix and match with OL and UL. So here you have to change UL because it is unordered list. Okay, so let's write an mixed items here. Okay, you have your ordered list, and you are saying this is my, and now inside the ordered list you can have unordered list. You can say UL, you can have LI, you can say C, C++, and you can say Java. Okay, so you will, when you see the output, you have the ordered list and you have unordered list. Okay, so let's do a quick preview of how it looks like. Okay, so let's go back to our DL and DT and DD. This is our DD. Right, so you see how the DT and DD is organized. Okay, it knows this is the title and this is the description, and the formatting is automatically been taken care, right? And this is called as definition list, which is used as DL, DT and DD, mostly used for table of contents and dictionary items. Then we talked about having the ordered list. Ordered list is OL and LI. This is used to have numbering. So when you write milk, bread and eggs, you see 1 2 3. Okay, that's where your numbering automatically comes up. So if you have the new line and add new item, then the number will come automatically. That's basically, it is ordered, it's numbered. Unordered is basically used for bullet points. So if you see the bullet points, you have the bullet points here. Create your own web page, design websites, is all bullet point. There's no numbering because it is unordered. That is from the UL. And the mixed items, you can see this is numbered 1, and then these are the unordered list, and this is an ordered list. Okay, so you can mix and match ordered and unordered list as well. You can change the sequence as well. You can have unordered first, inside the unordered you can have the ordered list. Okay, but remember how to write list. Okay, let's open that file. Okay, so this is how you write a list. You have a definition list, DL, DT and DD. You have an ordered list, OL and LI. Then you have an unordered list, UL and LI, and you can mix and match the ordered and the unordered list. Okay, and for ordered list you have numbering automatically coming up. For unordered, the bullet points will come up automatically. Okay, so that's how you use lists in HTML via these tags. Okay, so that's all for the lecture on list, and I'll see you in the next one. Hello and welcome to the lecture on links. Let's understand how to create links inside your web page. Links is also called as hyperlink. Links are nothing but you leave a reference of another page onto your web page. So when someone clicks that link, they go to that specific page. Okay, so let's create a link folder. Okay, so we'll start with a startup file, and you can find this startup file in the material folder. So this is your startup file. Let's open that startup file and first review that what's inside it. Then we'll add some new pages and links inside it. Okay, so let's open this file. Okay, so the page looks like this. Okay, there is no hyperlink in this. There's just the underline here. We'll add some hyperlinks in this, and then we'll try to see how to navigate from one file to another file. Okay, so what we will do, we will remove the start here from the file name, and then we'll create two more files. We'll call it about.html and contact.html. Okay, so first let's go to home.html and add links to about and contact. Okay, so let's look at the anchor tag and let's understand how to write the links inside your pages. So let's open your home page. A is a tag which is used to create hyperlink. It is also called as anchor tag, and it's basically used to link other pages and URLs. You can also use anchor tag as a reference on the same page. You can create references in the same page. You can jump onto that pages. A tag also has attributes. So when we look into attributes of a tag, obviously the anchor tag need to tell you the location, right? When you put a link, you need to say where the link will go. That is basically the attribute of the anchor tag. Okay, so the first anchor tag that we'll add is the links to the pages. So you see the horizontal lines, two horizontal lines, we're going to add in between that. We're going to add the UL here, that is the unordered list, and we're going to add 3 items here, and inside the each of item we're going to add the links. Okay, first is the about, then is the contact. Okay, but you don't have one hyperlink here, you don't have a link here. When you see this page, okay, you will have 3 items, but it's not clickable. You cannot click this to go to that page. Okay, we'll add the hyperlink so that the link will come when you click about, you go to about page. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So for that you have to add a tag called A, that is the anchor tag, and you have to mention where is the location. So the href is basically pointing out to the location of that file. Okay, and the closing tag should be after the text. So whatever inside this about becomes a hyperlink. Okay, so let's quickly review that first. Right, so let's review our page. We close these pages. We can open the live preview now. Okay, and you can find that about and contact becomes link now. However, it's not pointing to any resource or any page because you haven't told what page it is. You can say about.html, right, and then you can say contact.html. So when you click about, it goes to about page. When you click contact, it goes to the contact page. Okay, but we haven't done anything on that page, so we'll even add some links back to the home page. Okay, if you go all the way down, you want to add a link to phptraining.com. And how can you add phptraining.com link? So whenever someone clicks this, the new window should open and it should open this site. Okay, for that you will add a href tag and you will mention with the protocol phptraining.com. You close the double quotes, and then you have a property called target, which you will mention _blank. Okay, and then you close the anchor tag after the text. Remember, this anchor tag, you have to put the text inside the anchor tag so that this text become the link. Okay, and if you look at the page, just refresh this and this will become a link, right? And when someone clicks this, a new window open and phptraining.com will open now. All right, so this is how you can add a link to your page, and then when someone clicks it, you say _blank so that the target is not this page. The target is a new blank page. That's what we are trying to tell via the anchor tag. Open up a new page and open this link in that new page. That's what the target underscore blank means. And also you see you are scrolling top and bottom, right? You want to add a link somewhere on the bottom to say click to go on the top, right? Let's add that link. I want to add a link and I want to say top, so I'll say back to top. Okay, so the link is available. So when someone clicks this, it should go on to the top, and you have mentioned the anchor as #top. Okay, so let's define that anchor as well. So how do you define an anchor within the same page? This is basically a reference you are putting inside your page, so that when someone want to go middle of the page, bottom of the page, from bottom they want to go top of the page, you can handle it via these anchors. Okay, and then you don't put any text inside it because that will be visible. You don't want any anchor to be visible, it want to be invisible, so you don't put any text inside it. Now you have this anchor name defined somewhere on the top, right? It's invisible because you haven't put any text. When someone clicks this, let's refresh this page, click this, you go on to the top, because you are going from this link. You are saying I want to go to that anchor. That anchor is defined somewhere here before the welcome, and then when someone click on this top link, it will go and find the anchor, say top, and it will go to that page level. This like moving inside your page sections. Okay, just click on it and you will go on top. So let's close off the about and contact page. You just have to copy these links, go to about page. Okay, in the about page you don't want to have a link for an about, just to mention that when you are in the about page you want to have link for home and contact, so you know you are in the about page, right? Similarly, when you are in the contact page, you want to do the same thing. Right, you want to remove the link for contact and you want to put for about, and you want to change the file name as well. So our page has been done. So I'm in the home page. I know there's no link, so this is home page. Now if I go to about, this is about page, you can see about.html, and you can see the link is for home and contact, so you can navigate now to home and about contact. You click on contact, you're in the contact page, right? Now you can navigate back to about, to home, home to about, and then you can play around with it, right? So this is how you basically add links to your pages, and links is you can add to any resources that you have on the server or anything on the web. As an example, we have seen in home.html, one way to link other resources on the internet is via the href tag. You mention the URL of it, and then when someone clicks it, you can open up a new window and go to that location. Okay, if you want to refer anything inside the same page, you can use anchor tags by name property, give a name to it, then you say href, go to that name, and you have to use the hash here. So we have used href to access the pages. Alright, so that's all about anchor tag. And anchor tag, remember, anchor tag has attributes, and anchor tag is the most important tag because it connects all the resources on the internet. If you want to give links to your Facebook page, Twitter page, you want to give links to your other pages on the website, you will be using anchor tag a lot. Okay, so that's all about how to use anchor tag, and I'll see you in the next one. Hello and welcome to the lecture. Let's look at an article tag. If you want to write an article in the web page, HTML5 give you some predefined tags to write an article. Okay, so we'll try to use those predefined tags and write an article. Okay, I'm going to create a folder called article and create a file called article. Okay, open your brackets, go to your article folder, open this file, and then we will use the boilerplate, open up and close all these things, paste it here, call it article. Okay, so I'm going to copy paste how the structure of an article looks like. So this is how the article looks like. You have a section, opening and a closing tag. Inside section you can write n number of articles, and for each article you have an header, that's basically the header of an article. Then you have p tag, which defines the paragraph, that is your actual article. Then you have a footer where you can write the footer of an article. Okay, so this is a predefined HTML tags that you can use, and you can use in the same format. You can write a section, you can write article, header, paragraph and footer. I'm going to copy paste some of the articles here. I'm not doing anything fancy here. I have an h1 tag and I have also used an underline for the h1 tag. Then I have used my section top and bottom, that's the opening and the closing tag. And for each section I have two articles, article 1, 2. Okay, and for each article I have header. Just to show that I have heading here, and heading I have placed under an h1 tag, and then I have a footer and I have placed under p tag. Then I have my actual article, that is the lorem ipsum. Right, so this is a standard way of writing an article in HTML. Okay, let's do a preview of this. Okay, so you see beautifully, you can see all the articles is nicely published here. And if you look at the source code as well, it's easy to read as well, right? You have not used all the p tags and h1 tags. Instead of that, you know this is an article. So now to get those articles nicely formatted, you have used something called a section, article, header, footer and the p tag. If you look at the articles here, right, this is basically your heading, right, and this is your paragraph, and this is your footer. So if you look at the markings here, if I'm clicking it here, this is a footer, this is a header, and this is your paragraph, and this is your h1 tag. Okay, so now if you just look at your HTML, it's easy to read, right, because you can say section has two articles. Okay, and for the first article, this is my header and the footer. Okay, it's very simple to understand HTML when you write like this. Okay, you can even convert all these things into p tag. It will still work. It won't complain anything for converting this into a p tags, but you're going to lose something here. I'm going to show you that. Okay, once you do that, the readability is gone, right? It's hard to understand what is this all about. But if you look at the output again might be looking the same, but the readability of the article is gone from the HTML page. Okay, on the display you can still see this is an article, this is an paragraph, then this is a footer, but from the text, when you look at the HTML code, it's hard to understand what is this p tag and this p tag and this p tag. And if you're writing articles in HTML, like in a news site or a blog site where you have an article to write, HTML gives you predefined tags to write it. Well, if you use section, article, header, you can see the benefit straight away. You can read it as an English, right? The structuring of the page is automatically done via the tags itself. Well, that's all about writing articles in an HTML page using the article tags, section tags, header and footer tags. Okay, so that's all about article in HTML, and I'll see you in the next one. Hello and welcome to the lecture on additional tags. So I'll create a folder called additional tags. Okay, and I'm going to copy paste a file. This file will be available from your material folder. Let's review this file. So it has some additional tags that is available in the HTML. Let's quickly review it and first view the output, then we'll review the tags. Okay, so you have the block quotes. If you want to write quotes like this, you can use a tag called block quotes. Then you can mark up your text, you can underline your text, you can strike through it, you can superscript it, you can subscript it, you can write small, you can write dotted, abbreviation kind of thing, quotation, citation. Then you have definitions, then you have markup, that is highlighting, you have variables, okay, marking up the variables. So all these things are predefined, and these are small tags available for you to use. Okay, this is mostly like formatting your text. Okay, and all the tags are here. You can look at all these superscript, subscript, abbreviations. All these tags are basically here. You can have a look, play around with it. The output is here, and it's clearly visible what tags is being used for what purpose. If you look at the HTML code here and the output, it is to identify what tag will help you to do what kind of output. Okay, so these are the additional tags that is used for formatting the text. Well, these are the additional tags. You can have a look and you can use it for your formatting the text. Okay, that's all in this lecture, and I'll see you in the next one. Hello and welcome to the lecture on exercise section. So let's build one web page. Okay, and we will gonna create this web page from a website. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna hit over to HuffPost. Okay, this is a famous site for the news, right? We will pick one of the article from this site, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna create the same HTML page using the tags that we have learned. We haven't learned everything about HTML. We haven't even learned about CSS. So whatever we have learned so far, we'll try to match that output with the output that HuffPost have. Okay, so we'll head over to food and drink, style and beauty. We go to food and drink, and we can pick any of the articles here. Okay, let's pick the ingredient one. Okay, so let's make this page. Okay, so you can see the page has an heading. This could be a subheading, then some text here, then there's an image here. We haven't learned how to embed the image, so we'll not embed the image. Obviously there is some text and there is an hyperlink, and also, okay, so we have ingredients, so we have unordered list and we have ordered list, right? So this is a perfect example for us. We have unordered list, ordered list, and we have some bolds here, and then we have some headings also over here, right? So this could be a good example for you to learn how to create a web page, but we will not able to create exactly like this because we haven't learned about CSS. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove styling from this page so that we can see only the HTML tags. How are you gonna do that? Right click on it, say inspect, then go find the style sheet for this. What is a style sheet? Style sheet is nothing but applying the colors, increasing the font, increasing the spacing between the text and all those things. So all the style sheet will be found under head section, and we're gonna find the styles. Okay, there's a style here. So this style we will learn in the next section. So if I delete this, let's try to delete and see what happens. Okay, so the styling has been removed from this page. So now we are left over with the plain old HTML. Okay, so if you go and browse the page, yeah, so we are able to see the page now. Okay, and this page is plain old HTML, right? There is no styling attached to it. It's just simple, plain and simple text that has been shown here, right? And this is HTML text, right? It has the bolds and it has the headers, then it has this italics, then it has the unordered list and the ordered list. So we'll try to use these things and we will try to create the same page as it is available here. All right, so let's go ahead and create this page. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put it to the here so that I can copy paste the text. Okay, this is the heading and this is the subheading. We can actually open this another page so we can see what is the heading and the subheading looks like. Okay, so we'll go ahead and create a folder called newspaper. Okay, and then I'm going to create a file called newspaper.txt.html. Okay, let's open this up in the brackets, open up our boilerplate, copy this, then we paste it here. Okay, and then we will call it as HuffPost. Okay, so let's start creating this page. Okay, how I want to see the output? I want to see an output something similar to what we are seeing in the HTML. Okay, but in a nicer way, of course. We want to have some text, some links, and then we want to have some ingredient directions and all those things. Okay, so observe how I'm trying to match this text inside the tags. Okay, so let's understand how we're going to do that. So first thing we have to do is we have to copy this heading, and then we'll place it in the h1 tag. Okay, before that, in the h1 I want to say this is HuffPost, and under the foods and drinks section. Okay, and we'll copy this URL and we will place it as a comment. So you know how to write a comment. Okay, so we have our heading. Let's write a line. Okay, and we can even see the output as I'm writing. Okay, so we have our heading. We can remove HuffPost and we can say foods and drinks section. Then we have our horizontal line. Then we can have an h2 which we can copy and paste it here. Okay, so we have our h1 tag and h2 tag. Okay, then I want to have an h3 tag as well. Okay, and then we're going to add this text, and you see it's italics here, right? So we're going to put I here, right? So we have the italics, we have the heading 3, heading 2 and heading 3. Then we want to add this by Kaylee page, and you see there's some space here, so we can add that space with the BR, right? And then we can add the paragraph. Okay, the name of the author is in strong. So we can add the strong here, and you can observe that it's become the bold now. All right, so once you have that, so let's add the text. That's the content for us. Okay, and here we want to have the heirloom tomatoes as the hyperlink. So we say href hash, as of now point to nothing. All right, so let's look at it. Okay, so we have our text here. Okay, we can remove this BR, right, and we can put it here. Okay, looks better now, right? Then on bottom of it, let's try to write the article, right? This article starts from here, right? This is basically the heading, then there's a subheading, then they have this subheading maybe in the bold, and then they have the unordered list. So let's try to create this. Okay, so for this I'm going to use section. Okay, inside the section we have article. Okay, and in the article I'm going to say heading first. I'm going to have header, then I'm going to have paragraphs, then I'm going to have footer, right? So this will be my one article. So that's how my article is going to look like, and I'm going to remove the heading and paragraph. Okay, so let's add the footer link. Footer link, what we can do is we can write an href, and we can include this link to this article, right? And we can say target is blank, and we can say read more. Okay, and how it's going to look like, it's going to look something like this. So you'll have a read more. When you click, it will go to the new page. So we have deal with the footer now. Let's deal with the header now. So header, we can add this, as an h1 tag for that article. Right, so we should have our heading now, right? And then we will add the ordered and unordered and ordered list. So for that, next we have a subheading for that. That's nothing but this one. So we can make it italics. All right, so it's look like this. Then we will add our unordered list. So ul li, so we add 3 points and we go it here, we just copy paste things here. Okay, all right, so we have that. Then next is we can add ingredients. That's basically this one. So what we can do, we can add a paragraph and we can add strong to it, right? So you here your ingredient and then your unordered list. Okay, similarly we can copy paste this. And then we can go and say directions, right? All right, so we have our directions, then we just copy paste the directions and we are almost close to completing the page. Okay, so let's add the second direction. That's a lengthy page, so we'll delete this item. All right, all right, so I believe the page is ready by now. We just do a refresh. Okay, so if you look at the page that we have it here, it looks exactly the same, right? Just forget about the colors here because that will come up from CSS. Just look at how you are able to structure your HTML page, right? You are able to structure the headings, you are able to italics the font, you are able to add some spacing, create a paragraph, then add the unordered list, then the ordered list. Okay, and it's basically look exactly the same that we have it here without the CSS. Okay, we haven't learned how to embed image. We can actually download this image and just embed right over here. Okay, that will be learning in the next section, how to embed things like video, image, audio and everything. So as of now, you can take any of the article and try to see whether you are able to create the same page or not. Okay, the only thing that you know is the tags. You know what are heading tags, paragraph tags, how to create links, how to navigate to another page, how to italics, how to add strong bullet points. So look in all those things and try to look at any of the page and then convert that page into your own HTML page and see whether you can match the output or not. All right, so if I'm going to head over to the page where there is no CSS, you see it's exactly the same that we have created. Okay, well, that's the exercise on the newspaper. You can take any newspaper or any article from the web, go to Yahoo News or Google News, or you can go to any of the famous news sites that you go. Take an article, remove their style sheet. How to remove the style sheet? You have to go to inspect mode. Try to go to head section. Let me open this up. Okay, try to go to the head section and then you will find something called a style. Okay, this is script and style. So whatever style that you see, you can go ahead and delete it. Delete element and see whether it's removed or not. If it's not removed, you keep on deleting all the styles that they have. Okay, here's one style, so I'll delete this. Okay, so this break up the style. So remove the style, leave it only with the HTML code. Now you have the HTML, so try to match the HTML because that is what you have learned so far. All right, so do this exercise and have some fun with HTML. Okay, so that's the exercise on newspaper and I'll see you in the next one. Hello and welcome to the lecture. Let's do a quick recap on what we have seen in this section. So there are some things I want you to remember and take away from this section. First is HTML. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, which is used to describe the structure of the web page. Okay, and HTML is written in a file with extension .htm and .html. HTML is basically a markup language. Markups actually used in the HTML page to mark the content. So when we write the paragraph tag, h1 tag, you see all those markups that we have written in the HTML page. Client request for HTML page and then server respond by sending that HTML page to the client. This we have seen in the example of how client server technology works. And when the client browser understands how to interpret HTML language, it actually displays that content. Then we have talked about the structure of the HTML page. HTML, then you have a head, then you have a meta tag inside the head, and then you have a title tag describing the title of your page. Then you have your body where all the tags that you write inside the body is displayed onto the web page content. Then you write h1 for writing the heading and p for paragraph. And we talked about the head tag. Head tag describes about the page and body type describe the content of the page. And content in the body page is actually displayed on the browser, and all the content that you write in head tag is not visible on the browser. Then we talked about HTML boilerplate code, which is used as a starting point to start developing the page. Actually, we have created our own boilerplate code and then we have used for our examples as well. Then some of the tags that we have seen in this section, we have seen heading tags from h1 to h6, paragraph tags with the p tag, comments tag with less than, exclamatory double hyphen, and then hyphen hyphen greater than symbol. Then we have look at horizontal tag that will draw a line onto the pages to create nice sections with HR tag. Then line breaks, you can add line breaks with BR. If you add new lines onto the HTML page, it's not visible onto the web page. To add new lines, you have to use BR tags. And remember, horizontal tag and the line tag are also empty tag or self-closing tag, underline and italics. Okay, then we have looked at pre-tag. Whatever output you want to write and then you want to display the same output on the web page, you use pre-tag. Then if you want to write and display a source code, that's the computer code, you wrap it under the code tag. We looked at the list, definition list, ordered list and unordered list. We have created different pages and we have linked those pages. Also, we have created an external link where you click when you click a link, a new browser will open and then the link is open. And also we have created how to create links within the pages as well. Then we looked at section and articles, where we looked at the format of a section. Section have article, section have opening and close, then you have articles in it which has header, paragraph and footer in it. Alright, so that's the things we have looked in this section, that is the introduction to HTML, and then we'll move on to the advanced topics into the next section. Okay, so that's all for this lecture on introduction to HTML, and I'll see you in the next one. Welcome to the section summary. By now you should be able to understand what is HTML and what is the purpose of HTML. You should be able to write HTML pages and understand its structure. You should know how to create an HTML boilerplate and also write HTML pages using headings, paragraphs, comments, horizontal line breaks, text formatting using strong emphasis, underline and italics. Then use some of these HTML tags like pre-code, lists, links and article tags. And also I believe you have done some hands-on to understand these tags better. Okay, so that's all this lecture on introduction to HTML, and I'll see you in the next one.